even if they're not the same player they used to be, it's still Steph Curry. It's still Draymond Green. Some of these players grew up watching those two. The Houston Rockets have not struggled for quite some time, and they will tip off their first playoff series of the Ime Udoka era on Sunday night at 8:30 against the Golden State Warriors, who beat the Memphis Grizzlies last night in the play-in game, the 7-versus-8 game, 121-116. Really impressive performances by Jimmy Butler, who is very good at creating free throws for himself. He was 12 of 18 from the line. He had 38 points total. Steph Curry had 37 points. He hit 2 clutch threes late. You know he's going to do that even if it's not his best night shooting before that happens. They've still got some good players. Draymond still plays some good defense, but it is a rather different Warriors team. I do think the Warriors are still the Rockets' big brother. This series could theoretically change that. I think the Rockets have a good chance. If you're asking me to pick the Rockets, even though they are underdogs in game 1, 1.5-point underdogs at home, and even though they are not favored to win the series, the Warriors minus 200 favored to win. They're probably hoping people put money on Golden State or throw money against Golden State because of the way things have gone this year. But I do have some questions about this Rockets team and their ability to beat the Warriors because offensively, they're inconsistent. They have long stretches where all of a sudden bleep hits the fan and they look not quite Cougs-esque, but close to. I mean, I love the way the Rockets play. I love the way the Cougs play, but every now and then the Cougs have their moments where they look like a bunch of college-aged kids that are trying to figure out how to make it work. The Rockets have enough players offensively with the skills where you wouldn't think that would be an issue as much as it is, but no, it is. Jalen Green has his moments where you're like, what the hell's going on, dude? Alperen Şengün has those moments too. Those are your two best offensive players. So when you have a team in Golden State that's so good defensively, going up against a Rockets team that's so good defensively, you really got to wonder, okay, who's going to be able to muster up enough points? Obviously, the Rockets completely snuffed out Golden State the last time these two teams played. Season series this year, Warriors lead at 3-2. But I have just as many questions about the Rockets' ability to score against a Warriors defense that will be going up against players who just aren't as skilled as Steph Curry can be, one of the best players ever, and Jimmy Butler can be as well.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, and this is less true now in like the current day NBA, but generally you don't want to be the team that doesn't have the best player in a playoff series, right, especially when it's not particularly close like it is with Steph Curry versus whoever the best player on the Rockets, whoever you want to say the best player on the Rockets is, whether it's Şengün because he made the All-Star team, whether it's Amin Thompson because you might be voting him for Defensive Player of the Year. At the very least, he's going to be probably all defensive first team. Or if you want to say it's Jalen Green, just because he's a perimeter threat and one that no one else on the Rockets is really close to being that level of perimeter threat. No matter who you pick, that's still a big gap between that guy and Steph Curry.
For sure.
And generally, when these things bog down, you want to have the best guy on the court. Now, the Grizzlies have that, and they got very close to beating this Warriors team in a one-game winner-take-all type scenario. So I think, I think you would agree, probably going to be a long series.
6 or 7.
Rockets have a very good chance. It's just we haven't seen these guys in the playoffs before, and we'll see.
I think it's going to be big for them to finally just get a feel for what this is, and you hope the moment's not too big for anybody. There's going to be a lot of palpitations for some of these young guys because, I mean, it's not just that you're in the playoffs. You're in the playoffs against a Golden State team where things got a little brouhaha, Donnybrook laden. You know,
yeah.
The emotions, I think, are going to be high from that perspective. And on top of that, I think just you'll have jitters. It's natural to have jitters against a team that has all these guys. Even if they're not the same player they used to be, it's still Steph Curry. It's still Draymond Green. Some of these players grew up watching those two.
That's
which is so weird to think of, but basketball players are so young.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that these guys, like their formative basketball watching years, these guys were holding the trophy more often than not at the end of the season. So even though they don't carry in uh, the baggage of the 2010s and especially the late 2010s Harden Rockets versus the Warriors, and they, chances are they weren't Rockets fans no matter what they say now. They probably weren't growing up Rockets fans. And they don't have that kind of baggage that the fans have, but they will have different emotional baggage that, hey, these guys, I remember when I was in high school and these guys went 73-9 in the regular season and they won 3 championships in 4 years. Like, hey, I remember that. And so that's going to be something that the Rockets will also have to get over. But like we said, this Rockets team is, as a group, we would say pretty mentally tough, especially for the age of most of these guys. It's just that in the playoffs, like it's the ultimate, like the lights are just brighter and there's nowhere to hide. You're in the spotlight, and we'll see kind of who rises to the occasion and who. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I think there's anyone that's like, oh no, the moment might be too big for this person. If anything, it's just like they're so psyched up that they might psych themselves out. Really,
Right. I'm with you there. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
hopefully not.